All right, what's going on, Legion fans? Man, we are talking about
episode
4 of the Loki series. This is our Loki, the best Loki podcast out there.
Yeah, buddy.
But man, we are overshadowed by this episode.
I am blown away.
Incredible.
I am blown away. And here, I both hate and love this episode. And
I agree.
That's really crazy. Let me dig into that a little bit.
Yeah.
This episode did so many things that I don't like.
Okay.
But it also did so many things that are crazy and I love.
Yes.
And so it makes me desire or have wanted like a different story.
Sure.
But at the same time, this story is pure and utter chaos.
Yes.
That nobody would have guessed. There were no
way.
theories out there
not about
around
this.
What we just saw.
Unreal.
And we didn't predict this at all. We didn't see this coming at all.
No.
Which is exactly what Loki should be.
That's right.
They should be
chaos.
doing things that we can't expect, that we can't predict.
Yeah.
And, I mean, who would have seen Loki,
our
Loki,
the
main character of this series, being pruned?
Get pruned. Yeah.
Who would have seen that coming?
There were so many. Man.
And that's just
one thing.
That's just one thing.
That was the last
for
thing,
us.
pretty much.
That was the
the
major piece. And there are a number of pieces that I want to dig into that said, I wish I had done something different, but what they did and what came out of it is beautiful chaos.
Yeah.
And I love that. So I want to be able to say, I love this episode. It's amazing.
Yeah, well,
but it created in me this feeling of, frustration and enjoyment that was so weird.
Yeah, well, let's parallel that to, I know, especially for you, not as much for me, but with WandaVision, where it went a route that we hadn't predicted.
Yeah, but I didn't even like WandaVision.
Well, but that's what I'm saying, is that, once it changed route, you were like, nope. Done. I don't like this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But this one, this show has changed route and done something that we weren't expecting, and you're still like, I want to see this.
Well, yeah, because I think there's
so
much, there's still so much potential for this one. So here's the thing.
Yeah, 2 more episodes.
I didn't give up or get upset or frustrated about Wanda until the very last episode because I thought there were so many things that could happen in that episode, and it was just like, give me one, and I would have loved WandaVision. They didn't give me one single thing, and I was frustrated by it, and I was so upset and disappointed.
Well, we'll
Here,
see if Loki
again,
delivers.
I'm being set up for so many different potential opportunities, and I'm really just hoping for a handful or just one or two to be an outcome. And we can talk about what they are, but it's just...
most of ours are gone, though.
But most of ours are... Yeah, I mean, we're in a level of chaos that I did not expect and did not see coming.
But there are some things that still have the potential to play out the way we thought.
And that's all I need. That's all I need.
Especially the big one.
Need
just
one.
the one. Yeah, I think
just
the one.
need one.
Yeah.
And
so
if that happens... I will be completely blown away, satisfied, loving Loki.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, so let's get into it. So we had predicted that a future version of Loki or the Timekeepers would come in and save them from Lamentus 1.
Yeah, and that's actually my disappointment here. For the TVA to just find them and to
but they haven't explained that
them.
yet. So they haven't explained.
Yes, they did.
Well, they didn't really explain what that Nexus event was, other than
it was the Lokis being in love with each other.
Right, for sure. Yeah, but we don't.
Which is insanity.
Why
it's the most narcissistic thing.
But it's perfect.
It's beautiful.
It's perfect.
It's beautiful. But here's my thing. Here's my thing. So they talk about how the Lokis being in love with each other.
Yes.
2 variants.
Yep.
On the sacred timeline.
Right.
Falling in love with each other.
Yes.
Created such a branch.
Yeah, it went straight up.
It went straight up.
Straight up instead of going
out. It was
so
fast to that
That's
red
so
line.
Weird. But we still haven't been we haven't been explained as to why. Why did that create such a because there's
because
weird
of what
stuff
I
has
just
happened.
I mean, I'm making the assumption because it's 2 variants. who should not be in love with each other.
I guess.
Who shouldn't even exist.
Yeah.
Falling in love on the sacred timeline. I honestly
I guess so.
That is such a crazy combination of events.
It was.
That it created such a strong nexus. And I think what the point of this episode showed, and even with Loki, like, expecting and believing he should be alone forever with loving Sif coming in.
Yeah,
loving Sif coming in.
I love
making
that.
a return here.
Yeah.
But my point here is
him in the family jewels like 100 times.
I bet the sacred timeline has it that Loki is supposed to be alone forever.
Right, and he's actually experiencing some form of love.
Right.
But
it's
with himself.
I know. It's insanity.
It's
chaos.
It's the
That's
female
what it
version
is.
of himself.
It's pure and utter narcissistic
it's so
chaos.
Weird. Yeah, it's
and that's
so
why
weird.
that branch goes so high, so fast.
All right.
And
well, then I'm
that's
okay
what I
with that, though. But
Yeah.
I'm okay with them.
I don't need a
finding
full
him,
explanation on that. I believe that's what's happening.
Well, but then I'm okay with the TVA finding him and pulling him out of that.
One
That's
of the
okay.
things, though, that so they find them, they pull them out.
Right.
But one of the things that blows me away about this, and they don't address this, is Loki, Sylvie.
Yes.
Sylvie Loki.
Yes. She's just Sylvie. It's
Sylvie.
fine. Sylvie.
She blew up the sacred timeline. Bombed it.
Yeah, all those branches going out.
And they don't talk about
they haven't addressed it yet.
How they actually reset to make sure that, like, because one of those branches I fully expected to blow up the timeline.
Well, so
and they didn't. Like, they reset everything.
Well, not necessarily. So the from what I understand is the screen that shows the sacred timeline, the one that we saw, that branch going out.
Yeah.
If you notice, it's always moving, and so they're further along. Those branches are probably still back there. Like we're only seeing a segment.
Reach the understanding that I have.
But that middle line is still like it's just a branch coming at a different part in the timeline.
Yeah, but my understanding around this is if any branch reaches that red line, it can create and set off then the
right. So they had to stop each one.
They had to stop every single one from reaching that red line.
Well, okay.
And they just moved past that where we get no explanation. We see everybody going to the field.
Right. And I think that was the purpose, was that Sylvie was trying to draw them all out so she could come in and kill the timekeepers.
I get that.
So it really wasn't. It's not like these things that the branches she created were like
meant to actually
were tough
reach.
to stop.
Yeah.
They were just meant to send everybody out so that she could get in and have more.
It was a distraction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that.
I can get that, but I would have liked to have had some sort of explanation, like see them come back exhausted. Maybe they just kind of moved past it. So that was a little bit of a disappointment for me.
Yeah. But they come back and they separate them and they interrogate them, and Ravonna takes lead on this, and she won't let Mobius go and see her because she knows what her enchantments do, which was something that we hadn't picked up on, or something that we hadn't even thought. I hadn't even thought about it.
Yeah.
That when she unlocked the Minutemen's minds to like control them, she actually awakened dormant memories of who they were as variants,
and
before the timekeepers took them.
Those don't go back.
Right. They don't disappear.
They don't disappear.
They
actually
plague them.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and she wrote it off as C-20.
Lost her
went
mind.
Insane, and they had
was babbling.
She ended up dying because of assumably like a brain aneurysm. Like her brain kind of popped from the enchantment. It just ruined her. And Mobius, of course, he's a smart dude. He's like, well, she seemed fine before that, and
he's
then,
really set off. And I gotta tell you,
he knows something's up. And Loki,
Owen Wilson,
he's flying, man. He's
doing great.
I love him, man.
And he's been written off as like an actor who plays the same character over
and
over again.
Yeah.
This is a completely different character
love it,
for him.
yeah.
I am blown away in this episode with his acting.
Yeah, so many levels.
He did a bunch of levels. His fake out at the end is amazing. Like you see the change in him.
Yep.
It is phenomenal. But he is very quickly questioning everything he thought he knew.
Yeah.
Which is actually really, he is the one who was just like kind of go with the flow.
Right.
I'm not even going to question a thing.
Yep, because he wants to get in the good side of the timekeepers.
Right.
He wants to be, he wants to catch up to his friend Ravana. Ravana has risen the ranks, and he's kind of risen with her, and and they're their team. They're a team together, and he's a company man.
Right.
But then
that's a good way of thinking about it. He is a company man.
I think what really got him though was when he could tell Ravana wasn't honest with him.
Right, because they've been together so long.
Right. And they even mentioned that their friendship is uncommon.
That so long is lying to you, you're going to be able to tell something is off.
Yeah, and then when he leaves, that other Minuteman, she asks him, like, what did he say to you? What did she say to you? What did he say to you? And, like, because she has awakened memories from being taken over at the Roxcart place.
Yeah.
So it's like
her angst throughout the episode is really powerful.
I love it. And then she goes in and she takes Sylvie and has her reawaken more memories, and it's like and this is exactly what Sylvie wanted. It's slowly unraveling these people.
Right.
Man,
well, it's
great.
Not what Sylvie wanted.
Well, no, but
it's not.
But
like, I don't know if Sylvie
I think it
really
was when she came in and questioned. I think it was Sylvie's smile was like, "Oh, this is gonna work."
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
Sylvie.
This was not Sylvie's original.
plan. No, not her original.
Not her original plan. So she's looking at this as like, oh. This is an unexpected
another opportunity for chaos.
Yeah. And so that is amazing.
Yeah.
The loop with Loki and Sif is amazing because you see him completely break.
Yeah.
You see Loki completely fall into and have to confront his own narcissistic behavior and his loneliness in it.
Yeah. And I love when
which you definitely don't expect.
Yeah.
You do not expect, you do not see coming.
When Mobius comes and gets him at the end.
Right.
And he's just like, you have a choice to be a good person.
I love that
You have
line,
a choice
though.
to do good.
I love the line where he says...
Don't let him tell you anything else.
In case you've heard anything different.
Yeah.
And he knows that he's heard from
Sif 100 times.
If you thousands of times hear that you deserve to be lonely.
Yeah.
Like...
Well, he's also watched Loki's life as a variant from everybody tells him that.
Loki.
Yeah, everybody tells Loki that.
Right.
And so it's like
but that's
so great.
That's what's so unique about our Loki.
Yeah.
I continue to come back to I feel like there's something off about our Loki.
Right, which is why I'm sure that's why Mobius chose him.
Right.
Why he's the variant Mobius went for.
Right. And so I believe there's going to be something more in these last two episodes that plays out.
Oh, sure.
About he's either toying with us completely, like where
Mobius
end,
or Loki?
Loki,
okay.
Loki at the end shifts completely back to this King Loki rule. I've been playing everyone the
it's all been
entire
a ruse.
time.
Yeah.
Or we see this like really sincere.
I think he's changed.
I don't think so.
No, you think he's going to shift back?
I believe here's the reason why.
Okay.
I think everybody wants him to
100%.
be the Loki who is sincere, the Loki who deserves something more.
It's Tom Hiddleston. Everybody loves Tom Hiddleston.
I know, but I think he's playing it so well.
Yeah.
And I honestly think at the end we're going to see another shift.
Okay.
Because what has been his drive from the beginning? What was his drive at the beginning?
Yeah, so he wanted to be the superior Loki.
I think at the end, he's going to prune Sylvie.
Well, but okay.
I think he's going to turn on Sylvie.
So let's talk about.
But maybe not. I'm struggling so much with this because the Nexus event wouldn't have happened
if it wasn't
sincere and real.
Right, exactly. So let's.
I'm struggling so much with this. This whole episode is.
Let's define a few terms because some things happened at the end of the episode that just kind of everything started to kind of just fall apart. But there's some things. So and I can't remember her Minuteman number, the one that went to Sylvie and asked her to show
lead
her more.
One.
Yeah, I can't remember her.
I can't
her
remember
number.
Either.
But anyway, she stops and stares at a propaganda poster inside the TVA that talks about deletion.
Did you get them all?
Right. Did you get them all? And it talks about now the thing is, it talks about deletion. So they mentioned deleting and they mentioned pruning. Okay, deleting and pruning. So they've mentioned them separately, but they've always sounded like the same thing.
I thought they were the same thing.
100%. But these guys have been pruned. We see Mobius get pruned, which was
it was the most.
I thought he was gonna flip open doors behind them and they were gonna get out before everybody got him. But they just pruned him.
I was like gone. Anyone but Moby. Yeah, anyone but Moby.
Well, and then so anyone but Moby, and then in the end scuffle, our Loki gets pruned.
I literally tweeted anyone but Moby.
Yeah,
and I almost then I almost followed it up with anyone but Moby except Loki.
Yeah.
And then they get them both.
Yeah.
They're both gone.
Just gone.
What is going on?
Okay, but that comes back to then, is pruning deletion? And it doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like pruning is like when you cut off a branch from a tree and you put it in a basket. You put it in a basket to gather, to throw away.
Right.
So it seems like they go somewhere, and that's to do with our end credit scene. But before we talk about the end credit scene, Sylvie and Loki are brought before the timekeepers. They go through the golden elevator.
Yeah.
And they are brought before the timekeepers. It's very Wizard of Oz-esque, going to meet the wizard kind of a thing. And they're pretty much.
Well, you
told
only say that
now
because
nothing.
we know because of what we
100%,
know.
Yeah. So they're told they're nothing and they're no threat.
Right.
But Sylvie ends up getting a hold of they get a hold of weapons, and Sylvie ends up chopping the head off the main timekeeper.
Right.
But he's not a timekeeper.
No, he's an android.
So where are the real timekeepers?
And what's that scene?
Yeah,
is so ominous.
Yeah.
I thought it was so great because they chopped the head off.
Yeah.
And then the other two remaining timekeepers laugh.
Yep.
And then shut down.
Yeah.
I was like, so we get nothing here?
Well,
so we get nothing here.
So what I think this plays into what we originally have said, but it goes a little bit deeper. So we had said that we believe that Kang the Conqueror was the middle timekeeper.
The middle timekeeper, yeah.
And
he
was
clearly
the statue is different than the people that were there. The statues are different. They look a little different.
The statues were different that were shared in the poster, but also there's a timekeeper that's above the other two.
Yeah.
If it was three equal ones, just put them in a line.
Sure.
But they're a triangle.
Yep. And we had thought that maybe Kang had kind of gone rogue and was doing his deal, and the other timekeepers maybe didn't know or were trying to figure out what he was doing. Whatever might be the case.
Yeah.
But what I think now is
I bet we're thinking the same
I
thing.
think they're all dead except for Kang.
Yep.
And Kang is running the androids as a facade.
Yep.
And he's actually just pulling all the strings in the back.
That's what I think. That the timekeepers existed at some point.
Exactly. But they are no longer here, and Kang is holding up their facade.
At some point, Kang turned on the other two.
Yeah. Or he was never a timekeeper. Maybe he just came in and killed all the timekeepers and then just took over. But regardless,
I like the idea.
I like that
he was one of the timekeepers who turned on the other two.
Yeah, because he's all about time in the
And
comics.
since then, and since that point, he has been not running the sacred timeline, but a timeline that he wanted.
Yes.
So at one point,
100%.
the reason he turned on them was maybe because he believed that they should have gone a different way.
Right,
and so
he was overruled.
And he was overruled 2-1.
Yeah.
And then killed him.
Yeah,
and then went the way, and he used Ravana.
Yeah.
To be
her
able to
loyalty to the timekeepers,
and her perceived. We know that she has a relationship
in the comics.
With
Kang.
So he manipulated her through their relationship to be able to move her up in the ranks and keep her loyal to his sacred time.
I was gonna take it a little bit more because we were talking earlier before we started recording. We were talking about how does she keep rising the ranks when she's messed up? So at the very beginning of the episode, we see her get Sylvie, and we don't know why. She doesn't even remember why, or she might have just said that to get under Sylvie's skin. Who cares? But she gets Sylvie when she's a little kid.
That. I don't believe she doesn't remember.
No,
I
don't
believe she knows exactly why.
Well, I think that Kang sent her to get Sylvie because Sylvie was a threat to what he was going to do.
Of course, and Sylvie alludes to that. She states that. when she doesn't know why they're a threat, but she knows they're a threat to the timekeepers.
Yeah. So or to Kang. So what I was thinking
to
is
Kang,
that
more so.
Kang saw that she was susceptible.
Yeah.
That she and that she was good at what she did, and he was like, all right. I'm going to make sure she gets placed in the spot I want her. I'm going to raise her to the level of judge. Even though she makes mistakes, she's loyal to me. So I'm going to make sure she still goes up those ranks.
Exactly.
And then, he positioned her in a spot where she could make the most influence for him.
She's the only one from what we see who goes before the timekeepers.
Yeah. Nobody else really goes to.
She keeps them the secret. So every time she goes in there, she's actually probably not talking to the timekeepers.
Right, she's probably talking to Kang.
She's probably talking to Kang.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and
those androids don't come on until they have to bring somebody before.
Right, exactly. Somebody else has to go before the keepers.
Yeah. I'm thinking that's the best case. That would be the best, most plausible explanation.
That's all we got, though.
That's all we got.
What I'm saying to you here, though, is that's too logical. I'm sitting here telling you I agree with that theory.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that theory. And I want it to be that.
Yeah.
But from what they have shown me in this show, they're going to go and put everything that we believe on its head based on what we saw in episode 4.
Well, but
they're just going to turn everything. They probably have a different plan. I don't know if it's better. I don't know if it's worse. But it's not going to be what we expect.
But so what I'm thinking is it could start that way because Kang is very literal and like so I feel like so Sylvie will bring the chaos and the Lokis will bring the chaos, but I wonder if it'll at least that's that like I would say even though it's somewhat rational, Kang would be rational.
Kang would be.
I mean, he's a descendant of Reed Richards, so he's got got that mind to him. So like I think it would be.
I'm with you, but what I'm saying.
But they might flip it up now.
That's what I'm trying to get at here is the Lokis being in play.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's the thing. The Lokis,
well, we've got
Sylvie
more.
and our Loki, and then the other Lokis.
Others.
Who knows? Them being in play throws off his entire plan,
which is good.
Yeah, which is great. But what I'm saying is, we may think that. We may have this idea of like this is the direction that Kang's gonna go.
Right.
This is the plan that he's gonna take. But them being in play, them just existing,
he has to adjust.
Yeah.
All right. So that comes to the episode ends.
The other thing we have to factor in here before the episode ends, is the other theory that's out there.
Okay. Which one?
The quantum realm.
Oh yeah, sure, for sure. Yep.
There's a lot of people who believe right now that where the timekeepers are
located.
Not timekeepers.
Well, where their city, where the Citadel
is located,
is
in the quantum realm.
Yeah, and it could very well be. I mean,
time. They've already talked about how time flows differently there.
Right.
They've talked about where you know how they go in and out of the quantum realm could be. Based on the same technology that
Ant-Man jumps in time.
Uses.
Like
exactly.
when he went into the quantum realm, he was there for 5 minutes. He came out 5 years later. You know, like he jumps through. They use the quantum realm to time travel in Endgame. So like they harness that idea.
There's also that.
So it could easily be.
People slowed down. Ant-Man.
Yeah,
when
you're looking in the quantum realm.
They're looking in the quantum realm and saw a city.
And it's golden, which is the similar.
Golden.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and you look at like. You age differently, and we talk about time going differently. Ant-Man didn't age at all in that time to jump, and when Janet was down there for so long, her mind got all mixed up, and everything was different, and so there's a lot of, and it would fit in because Kang is supposed to be involved in the quantum realm in Ant-Man 3, so
Right, and that's
it
my
all
point
kind of
here
fits, which is nice. A little too nice, maybe.
It's a little. That's my point. Is like
that's
it's
the fear.
Little bit too nice, and it fits too easily. Like
I
want, but that's the thing where I was saying at the beginning.
Yeah,
that's what I want. I need Kang to get introduced here.
Yes,
if I don't have Kang get introduced here, I'm going to be in a similar position to WandaVision.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there was a crux we wanted and it didn't happen.
We needed Mephisto, and we didn't get him.
Yeah,
and now we're looking at Kang as the setup here. Are we gonna get him?
I don't know. I mean, obviously people have been asking, and they won't tell.
Because this is one of the things that you and I were talking about a little bit before, which
Yeah.
is, you know, how much are they actually tying the TV shows into the movies?
Right, and Feige has come out and said it does tie directly to Phase 4, but again, they don't want to alienate a fan base where it's like you can't see the movies without the TV shows.
So a perfect example is the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Exactly,
which is now Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yep.
Where a person could go see the movie not having watched that and been like, okay, I know why Sam is Captain America. He was given the shield.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But you miss that entire backstory, which is wonderful, so don't miss it.
Yes, go watch it.
Go watch it. But
you
somebody isn't alienated and
you
saying,
could still
like, how did he become Captain America?
Right.
Well, he was given the shield. I can actually just go with that as a response.
Exactly. Yeah, and you don't want to make fans feel like, because you're gonna lose the ticket sales. Then,
so the question is going to be like,
so
are they going to
great
introduce Kang? How are they going to introduce him? Because then somebody's going to wonder, where did this guy come from?
But as long as Ant-Man is not in this show, it's not going to be bad, because they could still do it, because then in Ant-Man 3, the audience just takes the eyes of Ant-Man, and so Ant-Man's the first time he's meeting him. Like, it is what it is. And so there's always, we've talked about this before, the best kind of storytelling allows the audience to kind of walk through with a member of the team that doesn't know what's going on. It's like why they chose Wolverine as center point for X-Men.
Yep.
And even Ant-Man in Endgame, we followed Ant-Man because Ant-Man was confused about what was all going on.
Very much so.
They had to fill him in, and we were able to be his eyes and ears. so it's like they could still do that as long as Ant-Man doesn't show up in this show. They could still do that. You
want to go to space? Yeah. You want to go to space?
Oh, he's like a cute little puppy. Just a cute little puppy. You want to go to space?
I'll take you to space.
His interactions were great there, so they could easily do that. You could just follow in the eyes of Paul Rudd.
True.
And you'd be fine. So
I
hope, man. I hope.
So even more so now, let's talk about that end credit scene.
So
this is where I get thrown off even more.
So the episode ends with Sylvie having Ravonna in her custody. She doesn't,
and like, you're gonna tell
me
everything.
She doesn't kill her. Yeah. So she wants
rightfully
to,
so. She's
good. She needs info because
Ravonna wants her. And that's
she
the
says,
other thing.
Yeah, she says to kill
wants her to.
Yeah, do it, because then she doesn't know where the timekeeper. Like, she needs enchant her.
Yes.
Get the information, because Ravonna wasn't surprised when it was a giant android head.
Nope, not at all.
But Sylvie was super angry when it was a giant, because she wanted revenge.
Ravonna here. If Ravonna didn't know what was going on, if Ravonna didn't know they were androids,
then
she
we'd
would be blown away.
Yeah, because everything she had fought for is a fake.
But she knows.
She knew. She was fine.
Knew.
Yeah.
She continued to fight the Lokis.
Yeah, she was
At
great.
that point, if she didn't know what was going on, she would stop fighting the Lokis.
Yeah, she would drop to her knees, what is happening? My whole world is crumbling around me.
But she's not devastated.
She knew. And then at the end, you're right, she needs to get rid of the evidence. She needs to die. You know? So we end with that. Cut to credits. We're like, holy crap. Loki's dead.
Blown away.
Mobius is dead.
My moment.
Why am I watching this show?
At that moment, I was like, they just tricked us all.
Yeah, that's right.
That this show wasn't about our Loki.
Yeah, it was about Sylvie. Yeah,
I was like, they got us.
Which still
would
be good.
They got me.
Which still would be good.
Yeah, would be great.
I would be fine with that.
I would be fine with it. But I was really blown away, because I was like, they really got me here.
Yeah, well, and I was like, and Richard E. Grant wasn't in it. Like,
oh yeah, that was like,
I was like, was
really
he
weird.
I was like, was he the middle timekeeper? Like,
yeah,
you couldn't really
did
tell
because
it was CG,
motion capture.
The motion cap stuff. So I was like, oh man. So
nope.
End credit scene. Loki's still alive. Our Loki's still alive.
Right. Thank God we stayed on for an end credit. I always stay on for
every
an end
time.
credit.
Fast forward to the end, see what happens. Usually disappointed.
Check it out. Don't ever get
always look
twisted here.
That's right.
You
it's a
gotta
Marvel film. So he wakes up on a destroyed
city.
And actually, if you look really closely, the building on the right hand side looks like the destroyed Avengers Tower.
Yeah, it does.
So I don't know if it is
at that exact moment, because I wanted to see who's
I wanted to look at all the
Lokis. I want to see all the Lokis, and I want to see what is in the background. And you're right, it looks very similar to a destroyed
Avengers
Tower.
Yeah.
But the other thing that goes along with this is they say to him,
yes,
Like he's like, am I in hell?
Right.
And they're like, no.
Yeah.
But you come with us if you want to live.
Yeah, pretty much. They give it Terminator speed.
Yeah,
so,
they give a
yeah. But we got 4 Lokis there.
Right, we got a Thor
so
Loki.
We've got like he looks kind of like the Viking Loki, but a little bit different.
Yeah,
he's got a hammer, but
does have a hammer.
It's got like a wrench handle. Like the handle looks like the back of a wrench.
Hammer.
It's like a steampunk hammer, actually.
Yeah.
So we got that Loki. We've got Kid Loki, who's from the comics.
Yes.
We've got like OG Loki, who's played by Grant. So
he rocks the heck out of that
suit.
suit.
He looked great.
He
looked
that
great.
is
The big
a
old
tough
horns
suit
and everything.
To rock.
Oh, 100%.
He carried it well.
Yeah. And then we've got
Crocodile
Komodo
Loki.
Dragon Crocodile Loki.
Yeah.
Who's Loki's been various animals. There's a whole run where Thor is a frog.
Yeah.
They make mention of, I think, in Ragnarok where he turned into a frog.
Yeah.
But there's a whole comic series where they're all animals, and Thor is a frog, and Loki's usually some kind of lizard or reptile. So he's like.
Well, they even talk about it. He like
loves
turned
snakes.
Where Thor's like he turned into a snake.
You know,
and he pops out.
And Loki's like smirking in the chair. So we get 4 weird Lokis in this broken down city, and our Loki meets them, and so then the question goes. Yeah, the question goes: do all prunings go to the same place, or or are they pruned into like bins of their variants? So like, do all Loki variants go into one pruning bin, and all Mobius variants go into one pruning bin? You know, like, are they in segments? Who knows?
We don't know.
But
at
they're
this point.
there.
Yeah, I mean,
they're alive.
So we just see Lokis.
Yeah, we don't see Mobius. So
we
Mobius,
don't see Mobius.
Mobius could have been deleted.
On. He actually could have been deleted.
He could have been deleted, which I really hope he's not.
I really
but he
don't
could have
want to.
been
I
deleted.
really don't want to believe that.
So we know Loki's been pruned because he's somewhere else.
Right.
And apparently pruning doesn't mean deletion. So
Yeah, I don't know.
He assumed it meant death when they said he would be pruned at the beginning of the first episode. He assumed it meant he's dead.
Yeah.
Certainly
looked like it.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like the disintegration, the melt stick from the Grandmaster.
Yep. Exactly.
Thor. So we don't know, but he's alive, and he's got a whole bunch of, and it just got weirder. I mean, it just got way
real weird
weirder
at this point. It's real weird.
Yeah.
That was a big twist.
Yeah.
Don't know what's going on. And
I can understand why Tom Hiddleston said this is like his favorite episode. Though.
Yeah.
It was such a good episode.
Everything up.
Yeah.
It opens everything up, and you sit there questioning, what have I just been watching?
Right.
Which is great.
2 more episodes to wrap it up, man. 2 more.
We only got 2.
Well, but you got to think, that's a whole movie worth of information. 2 hours? That's a whole
it's
almost
an
2
hour
hours.
And a half. It's an hour and a half. Yeah.
Still, that's like that's almost a whole movie's worth of info. So we got plenty of time.
We do have plenty of time there, but I don't know what direction they're actually going to head.
I'm praying for Kang.
Yeah, I need Kang.
Yeah.
And I need it bad.
Yeah.
Because if not, I don't know that I'm going to I'm going to be happy that it with all the twists and everything, but there's got to be there has to be a big bad.
Yeah.
There has to be now.
Dude,
they have chopped up the timekeepers and they are just androids.
Yeah.
There has to be somebody.
There has to be a reveal.
There has to be a reveal.
And it's not Loki.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like a Scarlet Witch was doing everything. There's somebody else. So, dude, what if the whole series ends with Kang being revealed and him just wiping them all out? And then we're just waiting. Then we wait till Ant-Man 3.
I am good with
that.
that.
He comes in, he's like, yeah, you're not worth my time.
Right.
And just wipes him out.
Right.
That would be so great.
Yeah, but the question
would be really
why
sad.
hasn't he done that to this point?
Because they weren't a threat. They hadn't meddled enough. Now they're meddling enough. The Lokis have come together. He thinks they're going to be,
I don't think that's going to happen. I think they've got to do something with creating madness. Right, so they got the multiverse. I think
they're gonna they're gonna fragment fragment the timeline.
That could be it, that the Lokis come together.
Yeah,
they shoot that stuff that Nexus event.
They fragment everything,
fragment it all.
Yeah,
and then Kang gets revealed.
Yeah,
and then he's ticked.
Comes in and just wipes him out.
Could be.
And then I
could see that too.
And then and then the rest of it is gonna be fixing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, well, whatever they do, man, it has been so good so far.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what happens next.
My disappointment with episode 3 has been completely redeemed with episode 4.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
But I have to
well
say,
worth it.
This show has twisted to the point it is no longer about time travel.
Not really.
This is a rom-com.
Yeah.
This is a Roko. Like, that's the reality. This is a Roko.
And
we got
action.
completely blown. Yeah, with action.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of Rokos with action.
Sure, that's true.
This is
true.
a Roko.
Yeah, it's great, man. I'm okay with that. Especially
I'm
because
I'm okay with it right now.
It's between Loki and Loki.
Yeah, I'm okay with it right now.
yeah. If it becomes nothing else, then it would be kind of disappointing. But
yeah, exactly.
I think it'll be something good.
Let's see. Thanks for listening to the Legion of Comic Correction. Don't forget to check out our other episodes streaming everywhere you listen to podcasts. We're also on the major social platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search Legion of Comic Correction.
That's right. And make sure to check out our Patreon for exclusive supporter specials at patreon.com/Legion of CC. New episodes come out every Monday.
And Wednesdays.
No, just Mondays.
And Wednesdays?
I don't think we can do Wednesdays.
We can do Wednesdays.
All right, Mondays and Wednesdays. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place, same Legion.